time, we'll be having an interview with Chantal Cooper. Chantal Cooper, the Children's Hospital Trust, where she at, is an independent or non-profit organization established in 1994. The trust relies on the support of donors to realize its aims and objectives. 100% of all donations go directly to prioritize periodic healthcare needs, and not a single cent is spent on administration cost. Their target is to raise 1 million to facilitate the movement of the current orthopedic ward, which is based in Newlands, moving to the Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital in 2025. This entails building and equipping a new orthopedic ward and upgrading an adjacent theater for surgery. This move is going to be a crazy one, man. Anyway, we'll be, as I said to you, our first interview, we're joined in by Chantal on 89.5 FM. Chantal Cooper, who Children's Hospital Trust is where she is a non-profit organization. Chantal, good morning.
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm fine. Come closer to the mic. Why are you far?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, definitely I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic.
You have just joined me now. I was reading out some of the things that you want as an organization, making sure that you move forward, man. Children's Hospital Trust, which was a non-profit organization which was started in 1994. I know that in 1994, when democracy was started in South Africa, a lot of things started to a point where some of them are still ongoing as we speak. For example, the Children's Hospital Trust. Chantal, take me back. How did it all started?
Well, our history is with the Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital. And before 1994, one of our founding trustees was a doctor at the hospital. And at the time, government didn't have the funding to give all that the hospital needed to provide the best care possible for children. And so this doctor then said, okay, I'm going to go out and raise funds. And he started the Children's Hospital Trust. And that's what we've been doing since 1994. So essentially our priority up until now has been to raise funding for building and equipment and anything that the doctors and nurses need to provide care for children who come through the hospital. So the Red Cross is a children's hospital, so there's no adults who come through the hospital. So we have the privilege of raising funds from the most amazing people in the country to ensure that they have what they need to provide the best care possible.
I know that running a hospital is never easy, man, to a point where patients sometimes don't really understand the background, of I know we only deal with doctors, nurses, but sometimes there's a lot of paperwork behind the scenes. Can you give what are some of the things you have to deal with that are hard hitting? I know that you mustn't give too much information, classified ones, but what are some of the things that you have to deal with as somebody who's in charge of the hospital?
So just to clarify, the hospital is actually managed by the Western Cape Department of Health. So my role is really just to raise funds for the hospital. So we work in partnership with the government. So we're a non-profit and they're a government and they run the hospital. So we have an amazing team of people in the hospital who are absolute angels. And I always say that there's so many good things that happen there every single day that people don't even know about. But to answer your questions about what's really, really hard, and so as an adult, I have a really strong belief that we have a responsibility to create the space for our children to grow up and be the best they can be. And I think some of the most challenging thing, or one of the most challenging things for me, is children who are coming through the hospital. And, if children that come to Red Cross, that's the end point, and often requires surgery as a result of child abuse in some form. So whether it would be physical, whether it be sexual abuse, it's a serious concern that has been that's been flagged by our social work department, because we're very fortunate in that we have social workers, and also children who experience neglect, and neglect can come in different forms, or children who are caught in the crossfire between gang violence. So I think that's the one thing that I struggle with. We're children who are ending up in hospital who shouldn't be in hospital in the first place. And as we lead into the 16 days of no violence against women and children at the end of the month, I think it's something we need to be asking ourselves is what more can we do to protect our children?
Nice. So what are some of the visions, for Children's Hospital Trust? Especially now there was COVID-19. A lot of donors had to back up to a point where some of the organization had to close down, because there was no funding. Did you also also experience that?
I think as an organization, we're really, really lucky in that our donors have remained loyal to our cause. And so what we're finding is that, even though people have less, they still give, because our cause is about ensuring that sick and injured children get the best care possible, and that they know that their funding will go towards ensuring that happens. So what makes the trust different is that if you give me 100 Rand, that 100 Rand will go towards the project that you choose to support. So one of the projects that we're raising funds for is the new orthopedic ward. So we're lucky in that our operational expenses are covered by a separate entity, because we've got trustees who invested many years ago, and we get we live off the interest of that foundation. So whatever money we raise goes towards the hospital. But you talk about our vision and our dreams so where we're going in future is we want to grow beyond the geographical boundaries of the Red Cross Children's Hospital. So we want to work far more closely with hospitals in communities who work with the Red Cross. So, for example, if a child is traveling from Vredenburg, a child's traveling from George or Khayelitsha or Mitchell's Plain, that those hospitals have the facilities and the resources to provide the care they need, either so the child doesn't have to come to Red Cross, or if they're going there first and then coming to Red Cross. So a lot of the hospitals in our communities provide care for children and adults. But we want to ensure that the voices of children are heard, and that they are much louder than they are now, and that we assist by providing the resources. So that's our long-term dream. And so we have something in the pipeline that we'll share in 2023, that where we were going to identify one rural hospital and one urban hospital, where we're going to work very closely, which would look at building and equipment and consumables, which would be in the form of medicine and training. So it's really about ensuring that children have access to good healthcare close to home. That's essentially our biggest dream.
And now you're raising 1 million for a building, right? And how far are you now?
Yeah.
Are you still far?
Oh, I think we've only just started. So this is right at the beginning. So this is for the orthopedic ward at the Red Cross Children's Hospital. So this it's a service that exists, but they need a 30-bed ward for children, and it's mostly for children who have been born with a disability and need surgery to help them as they grow. Or more often than not, it's children who have been in a car accident or knocked over by a car, or have experienced some form of accident, and they've lost a leg or cannot walk or need surgery to walk again, or their spine, and they spend a long time in hospital. And you must remember, with children grow, so they spend a long time building a relationship with their orthopedic team, because if a child has lost a leg and they need a prosthesis, they grow, so they will keep coming back until they're grown and they're ready, and they they embraced life with their disability. So this is a project that's very, very close to my heart because I've met a number of children who've been affected by trauma and have been knocked over by cars. And we know it happens a lot in our communities. But kids are absolutely amazing. And that's why this project is so special for me, is that these kids pick up and they keep going. They absolutely are inspiring.
If you have just joined us now, speaking to Chantal Cooper, who's the CEO for Children's Hospital Trust, which is an independent non-profit organization which started in 1994. So now let's say the listener is listening now, and also time is jealous. Time. So the listener is listening now, Chantal, and would love to get involved. How can they do it? And also maybe there's a donor out there, millionaire who's now listening, would like to drop at least 2 million. You'll be shocked how many millionaires listen to Bush. And then they want to help out. How can they do it?
There's different ways of getting involved, and I want to say I've loved the millionaires. I mean that is a massive dream of ours. But I want to tell you, our ICU at Red Cross was 148 million rand project, and you know that it's those little donations that added up. It was absolutely amazing. That it's the people in our communities that surround us that say, okay, that's where I know my money is going to make the most difference for children. So I just need to put that out there. And I think the easiest way to get involved is, I think it's more than just the money. I think if there's anybody out there who's had a positive experience with the orthopedic department, you want to share their story, please contact us, because we know it's an incredible team. And we want to share the good things that they do, because they really are incredible people at the hospital. So the easiest way to get a hold of us is via our website or our WhatsApp number. You can just WhatsApp and we'll give you a call and we can hear how you want to get involved. Can I give the number?
Please.
So it's 071 22 44 777. So it's 071 22 44 777. Easy number to remember. And our website number is children'shospitaltrust.org.za.
Chantal, the one thing that we always do on the show is ask our guest to give few words. It doesn't matter what kind of a words. It can be motivational, can be something that they can take. Especially that listener who's going through a lot as we speak. We're approaching festive season. A lot of people didn't have jobs. Hey, there's a whole lot of things. But the power of words, they can do a lot of things. If somebody says something to you, it can change your mindset also. What would you like to say to that listener who's listening now?
I've been working with a hospital for 10 years. And I think one of them, every time I go into that hospital and I see a child who's been affected, whether they're ill or they've been injured, it doesn't matter what space that they are in. They still look up at you and they still laugh. They're grateful for who they have in their lives, and all they're looking for is to be loved. And when I leave the hospital, I look around at what I have and I feel so grateful. I have a family that I love. I have children that I love. And I don't look at what I don't have, because there's so many people around us who don't have what we have. And I look at what I have and I'm grateful. And I think part of what I've learned from the kids is that a kind word makes a huge difference in somebody's life, whether it's a smile or it's a greeting or how are you really today? It's just listening. It makes a massive difference. And I think the children that I've met through the years have inspired me to keep going and to keep making a difference in somebody else's life, because it really does make a difference. And you don't know whether your kind word or your kind gesture will make a difference in their lives, and they continue to do it, because it doesn't matter what we read every day about all the negativity that happens. There are good things that happen to people every single day by kind people. There is kindness out there.
Chantal, I'm not going to add any further. Thank you very much for speaking to us. And please get back to us, as while you are in the middle of this beautiful project that you guys are doing.
And we definitely keep informed. And once we start our outreach program with the community hospitals, we're definitely going to be in touch. It's a very exciting project coming up.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful week.
Thank you to you and your audience. You too.